The rain pounded against the windows of the old Victorian house in suburban Chicago as I stumbled upon the scene that would upend my life forever. There, in the dimly lit garage, my best friend Alex's father, Mr. Thompson, a pillar of the community, devout churchgoer and outspoken opponent of same-sex marriage, was locked in a passionate embrace with another man. My heart raced as I backed away, but the damage was done. That single glimpse ignited a firestorm of secrets, lies, and forbidden desires that none of us could extinguish. I had known the Thompsons for years. Alex and I met in high school, bonding over video games and late-night talks about our futures. His family was the epitome of Midwestern normalcy. Mr. Thompson, a successful lawyer with a firm handshake and a collection of ties that screamed traditional values. Mrs. Thompson, the homemaker who baked apple pies for church fundraisers, and their 2 kids, Alex and his younger sister, Emily. I was the outsider, the kid from a broken home, crashing at their place more often than not. But that night, everything shifted. It started innocently enough. Alex invited me over for a barbecue, but he got called into work at the last minute. "Stay anyway," he texted. "Dad's grilling steaks." I arrived soaked from the storm, and Mr. Thompson, "Call me David," he insisted these days, welcomed me with a towel and a beer. We chatted about the Cubs' latest loss, the conversation flowing easily as it always did. But when he excused himself to grab more charcoal from the garage, I followed, offering to help. That's when I saw it. David pressed against the stranger, their lips meeting in a kiss that spoke of desperation and longing. I froze, my mind reeling. Was this the same man who had railed against the gay agenda at family dinners? The one who donated to conservative causes and volunteered at anti-LGBTQ rallies? The hypocrisy hit me like a gut punch. But beneath the shock was something else. A flicker of understanding, perhaps even envy. I'd been grappling with my own sexuality for years, hiding crushes on guys behind fake dates with girls. Seeing David like that made my secrets feel less isolating, but infinitely more dangerous. I slipped back inside without a word, my hands shaking as I pretended nothing happened. David returned moments later, his face flushed, but he played it cool. "Everything okay, Jake?" he asked, clapping me on the shoulder. I nodded, forcing a smile, but the air between us had changed. That night, as I lay on Alex's couch, sleep evaded me. Questions swirled. Who was that man? How long had this been going on? And why did it stir something in me that I couldn't name? The next morning, David cornered me in the kitchen while Alex was still asleep. "You saw, didn't you?" His voice was low, edged with panic. I hesitated, then nodded. He sighed, running a hand through his salt and pepper hair. "It's not what you think. Or maybe it is. But you can't tell anyone, Jake. Not Alex, not my wife. It would destroy everything." I promised silence, but the weight of it crushed me. Over the following weeks, David sought me out more often. At first, it was to ensure my loyalty, subtle texts checking in, invitations to hang out when Alex was away. But soon, our conversations deepened. He confessed his struggles. Married young to please his parents, suppressing his true self for decades. The affair a desperate outlet. "I love my family," he said one evening over coffee in a diner outside town. "But this part of me, it's killing me to hide it." I listened, sharing my own fears. Coming out in our conservative suburb felt like social suicide. My mom, a single parent working 2 jobs, would support me, but the judgment from others? Unbearable. David became my confidant, the first adult who understood. Yet, with each meeting, boundaries blurred. A lingering touch here, an intense gaze there. I told myself it was nothing, but deep down, I knew I was falling for him. Alex noticed the change. "You and Dad seem tight lately," he joked one day while we shot hoops in the driveway. I laughed it off, but guilt gnawed at me. Betraying my best friend like this? Unthinkable. But the pull toward David was magnetic. One night, after a heated argument with his wife about politics, he showed up at my apartment. "I can't do this anymore," he whispered, stepping inside. We talked for hours, and in a moment of vulnerability, he leaned in. Our kiss was tentative at first, then urgent, a release of years of repression. From there, the affair ignited. Stolen moments in parked cars, whispered phone calls late at night. David promised it was temporary, that he'd end things with his other lover, but the lies piled up. I justified it. We were both victims of a society that forced us into closets. But the moral quandary ate at me. Was this love or just mutual destruction? Tensions escalated when Alex's mom found suspicious texts on David's phone. Not from me, but from the other man. She confronted him, screaming about infidelity. David denied everything, blaming work stress. But the seed of doubt was planted. Alex called me in tears. Mom thinks Dad's cheating. With a woman, probably. This family's falling apart. I comforted him, all while hiding my role in the chaos. The guilt intensified, but so did my feelings for David. He started talking about leaving his wife, starting fresh with me. We could move to the city, he said, eyes alight with hope. But I saw the cost. Alex devastated, Emily confused, a community scandalized. Was our happiness worth their pain? One evening, as we met in a motel on the outskirts of town, David dropped a bomb. I'm going to come out. Tell everyone. My heart soared and sank simultaneously. Freedom for us meant ruin for his family. I urged caution, but he was resolute. I've lived a lie too long. You showed me that. The confrontation came swiftly. David sat his family down that weekend. Alex recounted it to me later, his voice breaking. Dad said he's gay. Has been seeing someone. Mom lost it, Emily cried. I don't know what to think. When Alex asked if I knew, I lied again. No way, man. That's crazy. But secrets have a way of unraveling. Alex found an old message on my phone. A careless slip. You and my dad? He shouted, punching the wall. The betrayal cut deep. You're supposed to be my friend. He stormed out, vowing never to speak to me again. David's announcement rippled through the community. Church friends shunned him, clients dropped his firm. His wife filed for divorce, citing irreconcilable differences. Emily, caught in the crossfire, struggled at school with whispers and stares. I watched from afar, my own world crumbling. My mom, upon learning, was supportive but worried. This is complicated, Jake. He's twice your age, married. Think about the fallout. David and I tried to make it work, moving in together in a small apartment downtown. But the honeymoon phase faded under the weight of reality. Arguments erupted over the wreckage we'd caused. Was it worth it? I asked one night, tears streaming. He held me, but doubt lingered in his eyes. Months passed and the isolation grew. Alex refused contact, his anger festering into resentment. David lost weight, haunted by guilt. I thought coming out would free me, he admitted. But the price, it's too high. I felt it too. The thrill of our love tainted by the pain we'd inflicted. One day, Alex showed up unannounced. I need to talk, he said, his face a mask of conflicted emotions. We sat in awkward silence before he exploded. You stole my dad from us. How could you? David tried to explain, but Alex cut him off. And you, Dad? Hiding this all these years? Pretending to be the perfect family man while screwing around. The confrontation was brutal, words like daggers. Alex revealed he'd been in therapy, grappling with his own biases. I hate what you did, but I get it now. The pressure you were under. It wasn't forgiveness, but a crack in the armor. David broke down, apologizing profusely. I stayed silent, knowing my betrayal was the deepest wound. As Alex left, he turned to me. I might forgive Dad someday, but you? Never. The door slammed, echoing the finality. In the aftermath, David and I clung to each other, but cracks formed. The age gap, once irrelevant, now highlighted our differences. He mourned his old life. I yearned for uncomplicated youth. Eventually, the strain proved too much. We can't build happiness on ruins, David said, packing his bags. Our goodbye was tearful, a mutual acknowledgement of the impossible. Alone, I reflected on the choices that led here. Coming out was right, but the affair? A moral gray area that left scars. Society's judgments amplified the damage, forcing secrets that bred destruction. Was it all inevitable, or could different decisions have spared the pain? Years later, the echoes of that rainy night still haunted me. I'd moved to New York City, chasing a fresh start in the anonymity of skyscrapers and crowded streets. My job as a graphic designer paid the bills, but fulfillment eluded me. Therapy helped unpack the trauma, but the guilt over Alex lingered like a shadow. David had remarried, not to a man, surprisingly, but back to heteronormative pretense. No, to another man, a kind professor he'd met in support groups. They lived quietly in Boston, advocating for LGBTQ rights. We'd exchanged occasional emails, polite updates that masked the unresolved ache. "I'm happy," he wrote once, "but I miss what we had." I didn't reply. The wound was too raw. Alex, meanwhile, had cut ties completely. Last I heard through mutual friends, he'd graduated college, landed a tech job in Silicon Valley. Married now, with a kid on the way. The perfect life his father once embodied. But did he carry the same hidden burdens? Fate intervened one crisp autumn day. I was in Chicago for a conference when my phone buzzed. An unknown number. "It's Alex. We need to talk." My stomach dropped. We met at a coffee shop near our old neighborhood, the air thick with unspoken history. He looked older, lines etching his face from stress or time. "Emily's getting married," he said without preamble. "She wants Dad there. Mom's furious, but it's her day." I nodded, unsure where this led. "And you? Why call me?" Alex sighed, stirring his coffee. "I've been thinking about everything. Therapy made me see Dad's side, the repression, the fear. But you were my brother, Jake. That hurt worst." I apologized again, voice cracking. "I never meant to betray you. It just happened." "Just happened?" He scoffed. "You chose it, over our friendship." The accusation stung, but he wasn't wrong. We talked for hours, dissecting the past. Alex admitted his own struggles, questioning his sexuality in college, experimenting briefly before settling into straight life. Seeing Dad come out scared me straight, literally. I didn't want that chaos. The revelation humanized him. Our choices weren't black and white. They were shaped by fear, love, and societal chains. As we parted, Alex extended an olive branch. "Come to the wedding. For Emily." I agreed, heart pounding. The wedding was a powder keg, held in a quaint church, the irony not lost on me. Tensions simmered. Mrs. Thompson, now ex, glared daggers at David and his husband. Whispers rippled through the guests. "That's the guy who broke up the family." I felt eyes on me, the infamous other man in this twisted tale. During the reception, drama erupted. Mrs. Thompson confronted David at the bar. "You ruined us." "For what? A fling with a kid?" David remained calm. "It wasn't a fling, Karen. It was me finally being honest." She slapped him, the sound echoing. Guests gasped. Alex intervened, pulling her away. Later, Emily pulled me aside. "Thanks for coming. It means a lot." She hugged me, a small act of grace amid the storm. But the night peaked when Alex toasted the couple. "Family isn't perfect," he said, voice steady. "We've been through hell, but we're here, to forgiveness, and moving on." His words hung heavy. Did he mean them? As the evening wound down, David approached. "Good to see you, Jake." We shared a brief embrace, old sparks flickering but dimmed by time. "You look well," I said. He smiled sadly. "I am, but regrets linger." Back in New York, the encounter stirred unrest. I started dating casually, seeking connections without the baggage. But each relationship faltered, haunted by the past. Was I doomed to repeat patterns, or could I break free? A year later, another twist. Alex reached out again. "Dad's sick. Cancer." The news hit hard. I flew to Boston, finding David frail but spirited. "Didn't expect you," he said, gripping my hand. We reminisced, laughter mixing with tears. Alex was there too, a fragile truce forming. Watching them reconcile, I pondered my role. Had my affair catalyzed this healing, or just prolonged the suffering? David passed peacefully months later, His final words to me, "Live authentically, Jake, no matter the cost." At the funeral, Alex and I stood side by side. "I forgive you," he whispered. Relief washed over me, but questions remained. Forgiveness didn't erase the damage. It merely allowed forward motion. In the quiet aftermath, I volunteered at LGBTQ youth centers, sharing my story to help others navigate the minefield of coming out. Society was evolving, same-sex marriage legal, pride parades mainstream, but prejudices persisted in pockets like our old suburb. One evening, mentoring a teen facing family rejection, I saw my younger self. "It's hard," I told him, "but hiding hurts more." His eyes lit with hope, mirroring the spark David once ignited in me. Yet, doubts crept in. Had our choices been selfish? David's coming out empowered many, but at what price to his kids? Alex's life, forever altered, carried invisible scars. As I walked home under city lights, I wondered, in the pursuit of personal truth, how much collateral damage is acceptable? The question lingered, unanswered, as life pressed on. I threw myself into work, designing campaigns for queer rights organizations. It felt redemptive, turning pain into purpose. But echoes of the past resurfaced unexpectedly. One day, a familiar face appeared in my inbox. "Karen, David's ex-wife. We should meet," her message read. Curiosity outweighed apprehension. We arranged lunch in Chicago during my next visit. She looked composed, years softening her edges. "I hated you," she began bluntly, "for taking him from me." I nodded, expecting vitriol. But she continued, "Then I realized, it wasn't you. It was the lie we lived." Karen confessed to suspecting David's sexuality early in their marriage but ignoring it for societal norms. We both paid the price. Our conversation unveiled layers of shared suffering. She had remarried a woman, her own coming-out story, suppressed for decades. "The divorce freed me too," she admitted. Irony abounded. The affair that shattered their family inadvertently liberated them all. Alex joined us midway, his presence a surprise. "Mom told me about this. Figured I should be here." The three of us dissected the web of deceptions. Alex revealed his marriage was struggling. His wife sensed his unresolved issues. "I'm not gay," he said, "but Dad's secret made me question everything. Therapy helps, but..." The meeting was cathartic, forging unlikely bonds. We parted with hugs, a fragile alliance against past wounds. Back in New York, inspired, I wrote a memoir anonymously. Titled Shadows of Suburbia, it chronicled our saga without naming names. It gained traction online, sparking discussions on hidden lives in conservative America. Readers debated, was infidelity ever justifiable? Did societal pressure excuse moral lapses? Critics called it sensational. Supporters hailed it as raw truth. One email stood out from Emily. "I know it's you. Thank you for sharing. It helped me understand Dad." She was thriving, an advocate herself. But success brought backlash. A conservative blogger doxed me, labeling the story propaganda. Threats followed. My apartment was vandalized with slurs. Fear gripped me. Had I invited more destruction? Alex called, concerned. "Pull the book if it's dangerous." But I refused. This is bigger than us. People need to see the human cost of hate. The controversy peaked at a panel discussion in Chicago. I faced off against anti-LGBTQ activists, defending our experiences. "Love isn't a choice," I argued, "but hiding it destroys lives." The audience split, applause clashing with boos. Post-event, a young man approached. "Your story saved me. I came out to my parents because of it." His words validated the risk. Yet, personal toll mounted. Dating remained elusive. Trust issues from the affair lingered. I met Ryan, a fellow activist, kind and open. Our connection grew, but shadows loomed. "Tell me about your past," he urged. Sharing the full truth tested us. Ryan listened, empathetic. "That's heavy, but it shaped you." We navigated carefully, building something genuine. Meanwhile, Alex's life unraveled further. His wife left, citing emotional distance. He moved back to Chicago, seeking solace in family. I blame Dad, and you, for this mess, he confessed over drinks. But beneath anger was vulnerability. Maybe I need to face my own truths. Our friendship rekindled slowly, bonded by shared loss. We attended pride events together, Alex dipping toes into allyship. One night after a rally, he admitted, I experimented in college with guys. Scared me off. The confession bridged gaps. You're not alone, I said. As Ryan and I committed, wedding plans underway, I invited Alex. Be my best man? He accepted, tears in eyes. Full circle, huh? The wedding was joyous, attended by Karen, Emily, and Ryan's family. Toasts celebrated resilience. But absent was David, his spirit felt in every laugh. Post-honeymoon challenges arose. Ryan's job relocated us to Texas, a conservative stronghold. Societal pressures resurfaced, subtle discriminations chipping at our happiness. A neighbor's petition against unnatural couples forced confrontation. We fought legally, rallying community support. Victory came, but exhaustion followed. Reflecting, I questioned the cycle. Did our personal revolutions spark change, or merely perpetuate conflict? In quiet moments, I pondered the moral ambiguities. David's affair, wrong yet catalyst for authenticity. My involvement, betrayal but path to self-acceptance. Was the pain a necessary evil for progress? The Texas heat mirrored the intensity of our new battles. Ryan and I settled in Austin, a liberal oasis amid red state conservatism. But even there, undercurrents of prejudice flowed. Our home, a cozy bungalow, became a sanctuary and target. It started small. Dirty looks at the grocery store, whispered comments. Then escalated. A brick through our window scrawled with hate. Police dismissed it as kids' prank. But we knew better. Ryan, ever the optimist, suggested moving. Not worth the fight. But I refused. Running means they win. Echoes of David's resolve fueled me. We organized town halls sharing our story. We're your neighbors, I said. Not threats. Some listened. Others heckled. One man, a burly veteran, stood. My son's gay. I disowned him. Regret it now. His admission shifted the room. Media picked up our efforts. Interviews delved into my past, exposing the affair anew. Alex called, worried. This could drag us all back. But he supported publicly, posting online, proud of my friend. Love is love. Backlash intensified. Protests outside our home. Signs decrying sin. Ryan's work suffered. Clients pulled out. Is this worth it? He asked, strained. The climax came at a city council meeting. We advocated for anti-discrimination ordinances. Opponents cited family values, invoking religion. I countered, hiding who you are destroys families. I know, I lived it. A councilman, moved, voted yes. The measure passed narrowly. Celebration ensued, but victory was bittersweet. Personally, strains showed. Ryan and I argued more, stress fracturing our bond. You drag us into these fights, he said. Can't we just live quietly? His words stung, reminiscent of David's compromises. Quietly means hiding, I retorted. Reconciliation followed, but doubts seeded. Alex visited, offering perspective. You've changed lives, Jake, but don't lose yours. His own journey progressed, dating a man openly. Inspired by you, he admitted. Emily, now a mother, shared updates. Mom's happy with her partner. We're all healing. The family, once shattered, reassembled in new forms. Thanksgiving brought us together, Karen and her wife, Alex and his boyfriend, Emily's clan, Ryan and me. Laughter filled the air, but undercurrents of past hurts surfaced in quiet talks.
David's absence loomed.
He'd be proud, Karen said, toasting him. Post-holiday reflection hit. Had our choices, flawed, human, paved this path? The affair, a moral failing yet spark for transformations. Society evolved slowly. Laws changed, but hearts lagged. Our story, now a book deal, aimed to bridge that gap. Writing it unearthed buried emotions. Chapters on the betrayal pained Alex to read. Accurate but hard, he feedbacked. Publication day arrived amid fanfare. Reviews praised its honesty. A raw look at the costs of authenticity. But trolls attacked. Promotes adultery. Defending it on podcasts, I argued. It's about the human struggle against oppression. Ryan stood by me. Our bond strengthened through trials. As acclaim grew, invitations poured in, speeches, workshops. One in our old suburb, Full Circle. Facing former neighbors, I shared unvarnished truth. We all pay prices for who we are, but silence costs more. Applause followed, including from old church friends. Change, incremental but real. Yet, in solitude, I questioned, did the ends justify the means? David's death, family rifts, necessary sacrifices? Ryan and I adopted a child, completing our family. Watching our son play, innocence intact, I vowed to shield him from such turmoil. But life, unpredictable, tested us again. Our boys' school faced anti-LGBTQ curriculum challenges. We fought, echoing past battles. Exhaustion crept in. When does it end? Ryan asked. Never, I replied. But we persist. In that persistence lay the story's core. Choices, fraught with ethics, define us. Was sacrificing personal peace for societal progress the ultimate moral imperative? The adoption process had been grueling, scrutiny intensified by our public profile. But holding little Theo, eyes wide with wonder, made every hurdle worthwhile. He became our anchor, grounding the chaos. Years blurred. Theo grew into a curious teen, questioning his origins. Why two dads? He asked one day. We explained gently, weaving in our history without the grit. But secrets, as I'd learned, fester. At 16, Theo discovered my book. This is about you? He confronted, hurt by omissions. The conversation was raw. We wanted to protect you, Ryan said. Theo stormed off, echoing past riffs. Reconciliation came slowly. I get it now, he admitted weeks later. The world sucks sometimes. His empathy deepened our bond. Alex, now married to his partner, visited often. Uncle Alex, Theo called him. Their family expanded too, adopting twins. Karen passed unexpectedly, a heart attack. Her funeral reunited us, mourning a complex woman. In her will, she left letters to me. Forgive yourself. You helped me find my truth. Her words released lingering guilt. Emily's career in social work flourished, inspired by our saga. You all taught me resilience, she said. As Theo navigated high school, bullying surfaced. Fag kid, taunts echoed. Rage boiled, but we taught advocacy over anger. He organized a pride club, facing opposition. Like you did, Dad, he said proudly. Watching him, I saw legacies unfold. Our pains birthed his strength. Society shifted further. Supreme Court rulings, cultural acceptance. But pockets of resistance remained, elections swinging pendulums. I retired from activism, focusing on family. Ryan and I traveled, savoring quiet joys. One evening, over wine, we reflected. Would you change anything? He asked. Some choices, yes. The affair hurt too many. But the outcomes? No. Alex, visiting, chimed in. It was messy. But look at us now. The extended family, once fractured, now thrived in diversity. Theo came out as bi, supported unconditionally. Thanks to your stories, he said. In twilight years, health faltered. Ryan's diagnosis, early dementia, tested us anew. Roles reversed. I cared for him, cherishing memories. Friends gathered, sharing tales. Alex, graying, laughed about old times. From betrayal to this. Who'd have thought? As Ryan slipped away, his last words, love you. No regrets. Grieving, I wrote a sequel, pondering life's moral tapestries. The book ended with our journey's essence. Choices, right or wrong, ripple eternally. In the end, Was betraying norms and loved ones justifiable if it led to collective awakening and personal freedom?